giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by Boston Scientific. We stream it live on YouTube and Facebook, and of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! It's draft season, folks. I know we want to talk about the draft every single day. I ain't mad at you. But in midst of all the new crop that's coming in, the Cowboys, they rely on an old crop of guys. So we got 4 young players that I want to talk about today that have the opportunity to break through and either solidify depth or maybe they turn into a starter at some point later on. So we'll talk about 4 of these players. We'll listen to what you guys have to say about some of these players as well. Plus, in the roundup, another big name added to that 30 visit list. Another one that a lot of Cowboys fans will like. And then the Cowboys talked up one of the prospects that they're comparing to a previous Dallas Cowboys player. So we'll get into that in the roundup. And then after that, we'll talk about some of these players, man. But good morning, Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad!
How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? Not a tight end, believe it or not. But it wouldn't shock me if they came around and said Michael Mayer is the next Jason Wade. You know how that thing goes. But it wasn't a tight end, Danny, or not Danny. Who was that asked that question? Matish. It wasn't a tight end, Matish. But how y'all doing this morning, man? It's a Wednesday. It's a hump day. Halfway through the week, and we'll get there towards the end, and we'll have a good time, man. We'll have a good time. Look, if you want to call in and talk about some of these players, and the reason why I wanted to do this was because I get we're focused on this draft, and we're human, right? So we tend to kind of forget about a couple of these other young guys, but it was just last year that a guy, Israel Mukuamu, that we forgot about, or not necessarily forgot about, but kind of just threw away. Boom. Now he's a guy that we potentially could see be a part of the core for the next couple years. So we'll see if some of these players can pull an Izzy. And one of the names you're probably not going to like, but today is about the opportunity, right? Like there's some players that really don't have that opportunity because of the depth that's in front of them. Let's just be completely honest. But there's some other players that will have that opportunity to solidify the depth and possibly be a starter later on down the line. So we'll get into all that, man. We'll get into all that. 351-999-3787 is a call-in line. Make sure y'all come through. And let's chat, man. Let's wrap it up. All right. Should be a very easy show today. Shouldn't be too long. All right. I got y'all. Let's get into this roundup.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time. It is time for.
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Oh, they do it. Hey, oh, they do it.
Hey, yo. Will McDonald, baby. Hey, man, Will McDonald is listed as one of the 30 listed. Not even really listed. This wasn't dropped by the big media. It was dropped by Voch Lombardi. Voch Lombardi reported yesterday that Will McDonald is among the 30 visit list, and I can confirm he is 100% among the 30 visit list. In fact, he was already there. So that is pretty cool. And this kind of reminds me of the Sam Williams thing. I said it yesterday. Sam Williams was a Dan Quinn darling. Worked him out, brought him in. Sam talked big on. Here's why I thought Sam Williams was realistic. He talked heavy about Dan Quinn and the Cowboys. Well, Will McDonald was excited to be here. Dan Quinn worked him out. We talked about Will McDonald yesterday. I thought it was so interesting how all that came together. And Foots had a lot of good things to say about Will. I have a lot of good things to say about Will, as well as Vach. A lot of people do. If he is there, this is the question, though, because we're sitting at 26, and I've seen so many fans conflicted about what to do at that pick. And they view a lot of players as round 2 or late round 2, early round 2. But we're at 26. So if Will McDonald's at 26, are you opposed to taking him if he's in that cluster of players that the Cowboys like? There's going to be a cluster. Or do we think he'll fall to 58? Let me know, Cowboys Nation. I want to read the chat real quick. You think Will McDonald will be sitting there at 26, probably, and would you take him? Let's see. Iceberg said take him. Okay. Captain says yes. Sin City 58, not 26. But 26, I'm going O-line. And that's kind of where this whole thing has been going, right? With a lot of these players. There's only probably less than a handful of guys that people are consensus at 26. Yeah, let's do it. Everybody else is like, I take him at 58, but not 26. That's going to be a lot of these players, y'all. And that's why I am not going to probably be upset with what they decide to do, because 9 times out of 10, half the nation is going to say, well, we could have got him in the next round. That feels like this draft. Is, well, we could have got him in the next round. In reality, probably the rest of the league is saying, look, we might as well take the guys we like now, because it's pretty much throwing darts at the rest of this draft once you get to end of day 2, start of day 3. So don't be surprised, man, if Will McDonald goes a little earlier. Same for Avila. So Jane Slater was on NFL Network, and Jane Slater came out and said that the Cowboys view Avila as a more athletic Ron Leary. Now, you know Dallas loves to project their guys on past guys. Ron Leary? More athletic Ron Leary? Look, Cowboys Nation, you might as well get yourselves ready right now for Steve Avila at 26. I mean, think about this for a second. If you could tell me I'm getting a more athletic Ron Leary, or if you're the scouts or you're the coaches and you believe a player is a more athletic Ron Leary, there's not a chance you're believing that guy's falling to 26, right? I mean, if we knew what Ron Leary was going to be and he didn't have bad knees, when he was drafted, Ron Leary's not lasting as an undrafted free agent. So Avila was always in that cluster anyway, but Jane Slater, she's plugged, now she's been missing on some things, but she is plugged to the Cowboys. And if they have told her higher ups believe he's a more athletic Ron Leary, there's no doubt in my mind that Avila is on that 26 list. Not 30 visit list, among them handful of guys that the Cowboys will take at 26. It's a position of need. It's a good player. It's a player that a lot of us, again, hey, I take him at 58, not 26, but I'm pretty sure whoever the Cowboys take at this pick, we're going to have that conversation. So, same question. Would you take Steve Avila at 26? Steve Avila at 26. L. 2 L's in the building. Okay. Does Avila bring attitude? Seems to have a personality. From what we hear, I mean, he's going to do an interview this week on Friday on Good Morning America. If you guys want to check that out, I don't know that he plays like a mafia with the attitude, but he's a good player. I mean, let's not get it twisted. We're talking about 58 and 26, so it's not like there's a drastic difference. So this is a good player with a high upside, I do believe. Devin said, I'm greedy. How do I get both? Probably going to have to trade up in a second for whoever falls. Marvin says yes because he ain't making it to 58. Jameson, yes. Eric G is better than McGovern. I believe so. I mean, McGovern's been around 4 years, so that's a little. But yeah, I think coming in, he's better than McGovern. Chris says I take Avila, McGovern's replacement. Can't trust our O-line to stay healthy. That's for damn sure. Brian says no. Avila is a marketing guy for Jerry, says Jay SoCal. Huh? How so? So most of you guys would take Avila at 26. I'm kind of I don't want to use the term warming up because I always believe Avila was a possible pick for them at 26. But there's one position that if they were to take in round 1 guard that I would completely understand. Again, this is all about me. Does this make sense? Taking a guard in round 1 makes sense because they need that guy. But it always comes down, especially at 26, who the hell's on the board? It's just so much to be decided because we don't know who's there. But boy, if you get a situation where Dan Quinn, right, your defensive head coach, loves Will McDonald, says, I don't think he's going to be there at 58, and Steve Avila is on the board at 26, your offensive head coach, Mike McCarthy, says, hey, man, we prioritizing pass blocking. Steve Avila is one of the best pass blocking guards in the nation. More athletic, Ron Leary. Ooh-wee. They got to fight that one out. That'll be fun. Well, let's play this game. Let's bring it back. All right, now we got Will McDonald. We got Steve Avila. We talked about if we take them at 26, but what if they're both on the board? Who you taking? Who you taking? Hey, I always get asked the tough questions on Vacha's show. Now I get a chance to ask y'all the tough questions. Would you take the pass rusher, or would you take the potential last piece of your offensive line? Right? You could argue you don't really necessarily need a pass rusher in round 1, so it'd be more about is that player highly ranked on your board to the point where you're saying I can't pass up on this guy, or you do need a left guard and his player is highly ranked on your board. I knew this was split, y'all. Dev, shit, man. Oh, this is going to be fun at pick 26. Avila, O-line. I'm taking O-line. Avila, O-line, guard. I say, L says, I say again, the only Big Mac more than is Will McDonald. Compensatory pause. Compensatory pause is crazy. So we got a Will McDonald. You want an elite defense, keep getting more pass rushers. Slim said he's torn between Will and Steve. I think they would too. I 100% think they'd be in that room because Will McDonald, he looks like he got some special traits, man. But if you're looking at what you need to complete your offensive line, right, offensively, Steve Avila just makes sense. That makes the most sense. So if you say, well, damn it, Sky, you pick. I'd probably go Avila. Like I probably would. Now Nolan Smith, you might be putting me in a bit of a corner here, but I would say, is there a possibility I can get McDonald later? Because Avila's probably a top 3 interior guy. I don't know if he's going to last a 58. You know, now interiors guys did fall a little bit last year, but will he last a 58? And do you say, okay, if I take Will now, like we did, for instance, that draft we did on Friday, if I take defense round 1, which was Nolan Smith, pretending it's Will McDonald, and round 2, I miss out on Avila, and now I say, let me just take the best defensive guy that I have on the board, you better get a guy in round 3. I don't want to wait till round 4, 5, 6 to get a guard if he can't come here and play right now. And I feel like if you get a guy in the first 2 rounds, they can come in and play right now. So it'll be interesting. Oh, this must have fired up Danny Savage because he called in already. What's up, Danny?
Hey, yo. Good morning, Sky.
Good morning, good bro.
I just wanted to clarify, like yesterday when I compared Avila to Will Hernandez. This is why people hate Dallas fans, and we set ourselves up for disaster. We're already talking about Avila like he's been anointed and handed the left guard position when he hasn't even been drafted. He hasn't even beaten anyone out. Dallas is the only team that drafts people. It could even be in the second round, and they're anointed.
Danny.
They're anointed. Like, we're setting these kids up for failure. That's what I was trying to get at with the Will Hernandez thing, because,
Danny.
you know, we spoke about it yesterday on the Fox show. They're showing pictures of him at the old line with all the games. They're showing him in Jerry's house. You know what I'm trying to say? That's what I was just kind of getting at. We're the only team who anoints people, but he's a starter already. That's where I was going at. I'm gonna go my 4 young players, and then I'm gonna give you my day 3 Danny guys. My young players, I think, who can provide depth is Waletzko.
What just happened? Hold on, Danny. What just happened? What are you talking about, sir? Who's anointing? Are you saying because the Cowboys said he's Ron, or are you saying because Cowboy fans are talking if they draft Avila, he'd be the starter?
You know how, like, we have our media saying, Dallas is anointing him and more athletic Ron Leary.
Okay. So you're upset that he's being comped. Every player has a comp, though.
Of course, I get that. But, I mean, I don't see a lot of other teams just drafting people and we walking them right into a position. I can understand if you draft a top 5 quarterback, 9 times out of 10, he's going to be your starting quarterback. But we're talking about a guard.
Yeah.
And also we have a hole that
Danny,
we created.
Danny, if you draft a guard in day 1 or day 2, right? Like round 1, round 2, do you honestly think that guy won't like come in here and start? Like who's he competing with?
Well, of course we have no choice.
Right. So then why are you upset? You're using the word anointed, but it's kind of common sense. If fans or if people are saying if the Cowboys take Avila, he'd be a starter. Are you making yourself upset for nothing?
Well, no, I'm not making upset. I just sound this way all the time. You know what I'm trying to say? I sound this way.
Wait, how many cup of coffee? Did you get your coffee? Did you get your coffee yet?
Yeah, I did. I was up early. Early.
You need another one, Danny. We need another one, brother. All right, keep going.
So the young guys for depth. I think Waletzko, if he puts on weight, definitely can provide depth. Damone Clark, if he stays healthy, definitely. If not a starter. Another kid who I gave last year, day 3, who was actually not even a day 3, it's a day 4 if you want. He was an undrafted free agent who dressed a lot of games at the end of the year, Alec Lindstrom, the guard out of Boston College. And then I'm going to say who I think I really want to see more on the field, Malik Davis. He ran hard last year. He really, really ran hard last year.
That's fair.
He's running for his mother's house, man, and I don't blame him. I'd be doing the same thing. God bless him if I was in his position. So now I'm going to, I know there's a lot of other people on the phone. I'm going to close with my day 3 guys. There's a kid, I'm not even going to be able to pronounce his name. His first name is Izzy Akabanda. He's a running back from Pitt.
Oh, I like him.
He's my number 1. And this kid is getting no love. Against Tennessee and Virginia Tech, he put up like almost 600 yards and 7 touchdowns. He made Tennessee and Virginia Tech look Division III. He had a run against Tennessee, like 80 yards. This kid got jets. He's 5'11", 210, and he only ran a 4.26 and a 4.28. How this kid is going to slip through the cracks, I don't know. Then my other day 3 guy is from Appalachian State, Cameron Peoples. What Dallas is lacking is a goal line back. I'm going to ask you a question. I never, just me. I never considered Zeke a goal line back because he was just an every down back his career. He ran first, second, third, fourth if you needed him. So I never considered him like a bruiser goal line back. He was just our number one back. I don't think we've had a true goal line back since Marion Barber. Do you agree with me there or no?
Nah, I disagree. So I think they Zeke could be both, right? Like Zeke was our number one back, but he also was a goal line back, right? Like he was one of the best short yardage goal line guys since he's been in the league. You know, I think he had like a hiccup in 2021 or 2020. I can't remember which year it was, but for the most part, he's been exceptional as a goal line. I mean, hell, all of his touchdowns last year came at the goal line.
Yeah. Agree with you. What I meant was like he wasn't a guy that came off the bench.
Yeah,
to be a goal line back.
So you're looking for like a role player,
a specific. There's a kid from Appalachian State, Cameron Peoples, a round 7 kid, day 3. He's 6'1", 220. He started out about 200 pounds. He's gained about 10 pounds every year, and he's the stiff-on king. He's a goal line back, but if you also go back to his sophomore, junior tape, he'll also bust one for 90 yards.
Well,
yes, I noticed. I think I explained the Zeke. I explained the Zeke thing wrong. Zeke was a goal line back, but he was an every down back.
Right, he wasn't.
I was trying
exclusively a good. You're looking for like a Brandon Jacobs. End of the road. Jerome Bettis. Like you're looking for one of them.
Yes, yes, definitely. And just one last thing before I ran the plane. The kid Israel, Izzy. I mean, Jerry's a nostalgic guy. Yo, he drafts him from Pitt. He's getting 33. He's getting Dorsett's number.
I don't think Jerry give a damn about that because that was before Jerry.
You're probably right. Yeah.
What he did to Tom Landry and Jimmy, and I don't think he cared about that. Now, if it was a guy that he had during his tenure, yeah.
Yeah, he likes the 94s, the 88s. You got a point. Yeah. Well, looking forward to listening to your show. Looking forward to hearing you and Vox later on.
My
Talk
guy.
to you later, Scott.
Appreciate you, Danny. Hey, I agree. The Cowboys could use a future goal line guy, a future big guy. I don't know, man. Maybe because he's a Cowboy now, and the fan in me is going to push back a little bit. But man, I don't think we should just be discounting Rojo as a goal line guy. I'm not saying the dude is going to be amazing or anything. I'm not even saying he's going to make the team. But you can line up right now, Ronald Jones can be a goal line back. He could be your power back. But if you're looking to get a guy on a 4-year deal, yeah, you still can draft one. And I think you still should draft a running back. But I think they got a guy right now is all I'm saying. Yeah. And maybe that's me being a bit defensive. I don't know, man. I watched the dude and I'm like, why are we just acting like this guy can't go out there right now and get 10 carries for you and get you some tough yards? That's all you need from that second back anyway, that third back, whatever it's going to be, right? Which is why he's talking about drafting a guy in the 7th round. He only going to carry the ball a few times anyway. But damn, he brought up Malik Davis, who is not part of this, by the way. But that's a damn good name. A guy who actually has the opportunity, right? In fact, he might have, thinking about the guys I'm about to list, he might have the greatest opportunity as we speak right now. The Cowboys haven't drafted a running back yet. They ain't take Bijan Robinson. They ain't take a Gibbs. They ain't take anybody just quite yet. So as we speak, he probably has the best opportunity to actually break through and solidify himself as part of this depth. So fantastic name. However, we'll go on the other side of the ball. And before I get back into the phone lines, I'm going to go on the other side of the ball and talk about a guy who, got hurt. I don't know if he really got hurt or they just hit him with the Dev. You said your ankle hurt, right? Nah, coach, I'm good. You said your ankle hurt. IR. Put that man on IR so damn fast. Devin Harper, man. 6th round pick last year, ran like a 4.5 something, super athletic, 6 foot 235. Kind of fits that what we had once called the Dan Quinn mold, right? That linebacker who sub 235 and runs real fast and is super athletic. That was Devin Harper coming out. And he got a shot on special teams. He played 52 special team snaps before he went on IR on October 29th. So between weeks 1 through 3, he was on special teams and he was playing a good bit. And that's probably where they're going to count on him. When you look at the linebacker room right now, it's thin. So he does have the opportunity to make a name for himself just from a linebacker standpoint, right? It's not a deep room. You got your starters, so I don't think he's going to really crack the starting role, but he can compete to be kind of that third guy as we speak right now. But the more immediate way he can contribute to this team and solidify himself is with special teams. Luke Harper is no longer here. Luke Harper, rest in peace. Luke Gifford is no longer here. He's off to Tennessee, and that left that spot open for a young guy to take it. That's what the Cowboys like to do. Why do you think Luke Gifford stayed around so long? It wasn't because he was out there killing it on defense. It was because he was a integral part of that special teams unit, and he was making plays on that special teams unit. Devin Harper was a quality special teams guy coming out, and if he can solidify himself on special teams, I think that'll help give him an opportunity possibly next year to be a part of the linebacker rotation after LVE, after Damone Clark. And if somebody goes down, as we speak right now, there is no Anthony Barr. So Devin Harper has a major opportunity here to be a core special teams guy and a real depth guy in the linebacker room. Jerry said, okay, Achilles injury, you know, obviously. So, hey man, that Achilles hurt, right? No, I'm not saying that Jerry Jones burner account. It's a running joke here. I can't remember how long you've been here, but it's a running joke on the channel where we always hit somebody with hey, we need a roster spot. Achilles. Yeah, Achilles. It ain't feeling good, right? IR opens up a roster spot. Now you're able to get somebody. That is just a running joke, man. Let's get my Reading brother, Mr. Ronnie, on the horn real quick. Good morning, good sir.
Good morning to you, and God bless your family and to the show. I just two quick things. Okay. I really think that we should go for that guard because with Dan Quinn, the way he moves the pieces on the defense on the defensive scheme. I think we need that guard because with a good guard, the offense is going to really take off. And like you said, you need a good line to be able to produce, good yards and stuff. But I really think that we'll be good and we get the guard first. That's all I got for today.
All right, Mr. Ronnie, appreciate you. I don't disagree. If you had to say, Sky, who do you think they'll take in round one? I do think it's a guard because they kind of put themselves in a hole to where they need a guard. I think the conversation shifts if you say, well, what do you want them to do if they're on the board? That's a different conversation, but it's really hard for me to look at the Cowboys roster and look in the draft and not come away with trenches. That's I've kind of been 10 toes down on that for weeks. Trenches, whether it be offensive line, defensive line, but the obvious need is guard, and there's a couple of them. I'm taking round 1 or 2 that if they don't, the Mafias of the world you hope are there. Round 3 or 4, whatever, and you try to roll. But yeah, I think they're going to go guard right now. I should say right now. 620, what it is, what it do?
Yo, Scott.
Yes, sir. You're live.
Hey, man. Thanks. Long time listener, first time caller. My name's
Appreciate
David from Yeah, no problem, man. I'm agreeing with the guard position there at 26. I believe that will plug up whatever leak we had there at left guard. Our offensive line will swell and protect tag.
Yeah, and the thing about Avila is, and I keep bringing this up because Coach keeps bringing it up, right? He keeps talking about how pass protection is important for what they want to do. And Avila was one of the best guys at pass protecting from an interior standpoint. So he would fit in amazingly from that part. And then you kind of develop as they go from a run standpoint. And I'm not saying that as if he's not a good run blocker. I think he's fine there, but that's not necessarily his strength right now. But he has a high upside. So I will 100% understand the Steve Avila pick in round 1.
I agree 100%. I think he's athletic enough to do the pulling that we need and stuff like that we have in our playbook as well. And we can never get enough offensive line help, But I also have a second part here, and you kind of touched it a little bit with the linebackers. We know Dan Quinn loves his linebackers, and we have LVE back. But do you think in the first 3 rounds we can go get a downhill linebacker that process the offense on what they're doing quickly anyway? Do you think that can happen in the first 3 rounds?
Drew Sanders comes to mind. Jack Campbell comes to mind. Simpson kid, who they brought in yesterday, he feels like a pass rushy guy to me, not necessarily. You looking for a cerebral player, a middle linebacker?
Yeah, someone that can just process and go.
They technically view LVE as that guy, but yeah, you're looking probably early Drew Sanders and Jack Campbell, if I'm not mistaken, Cowboys Nation. I like Damone Clark. Toxic just said it here in the chat. I think Damone Clark could be the guy. He just was young last year, but look, I'm never opposed to getting guys like that. You said though in the first 3 rounds, I mean, Dallas has put themselves in position. We talked about this to be at BPA. So sure, I mean they brought in, was it Trent Simpson? Was that who it was yesterday?
Yeah, it was.
So he's a guy that's probably going to go in the top 100. So they're looking at top 100 linebackers.
Yeah, I don't think that Will McDonald will be there at 58, and at 26 there, I think guard would be a better play. So, if Dan Quinn doesn't get his guy, I think he could, Dallas could come out and surprise somebody with a big linebacker.
That would be I would not lie to you. That would be a bit of a surprise. And that's funny coming from me because I do believe linebacker is not deep. So taking a linebacker shouldn't be out of the cards. But they haven't done it that early since 28? Well, I guess Micah Parsons. So Mike is weird though because Mike is a rusher, but really they haven't taken that off-ball linebacker since LVE. So I wonder if they would continue to wait and try to hit on a Damone Clark again in day 3. It's interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, we do have, like what you said, we have Harper and Clark, and they'll be coming into their second year. And Clark's looked pretty good for the most part. Another offseason under his belt, I think he'll be pretty good. But I just don't think you ever know with Dan Quinn. That guy is he always has something cooking.
That is true, man. He definitely is always in the kitchen cooking. That's what Osa told me.
That's awesome.
All right, man. Appreciate the call, big dog.
Man, and have a good day.
You as well, man. You as well. Yeah, that is. I'm glad he kind of brought that up because that might be the next position Foots and I talk about. Started this whole offseason process. We went down the list of our positions, and linebacker was one of those positions where like, hey, man, this is not a deep room. Now this was when we were doing our free agent list. I was looking and hoping that they'd bring in a free agent, Bobby Webb, but they would bring in a free agent to help that room. But now that's not the case. Does linebacker creep back up into need territory? It's not necessarily immediate need because you can go out there and play right now. But do we trust LVE to stay healthy? I don't. Do we trust LVE to play at a high level throughout the season? I don't. So I would not be opposed to looking in the top 100 at the linebacker position. Would not be opposed to that. Not at all. All right, let's get to my second guy, and then we'll get back on the horns here. Not a linebacker, but Dan Quinn did bring it up when he was talking about him as a rookie. And I don't think he's going to transition this player to a linebacker. But Marquise Bell is another player that has an opportunity to solidify depth, possibly more. So he didn't play a ton last year, and I don't foresee him, barring injury, playing a ton this year, but we saw what happened with Izzy. Izzy came into camp. He snapped in year 2. He snapped in camp. He snapped in preseason. And then when he got the coaching staff's trust, and then he took advantage of his regular season snaps, and that led to a big role in the playoffs. Now, Israel Mukuamu is looked upon as a guy that's a core part of this, the young core part of this team for the next 2-3 years, right? Marquise Bell has an opportunity to do the same thing. He didn't play a lot, 22 defensive snaps. He had the 1 tackle, but it was a nice little tackle against the Giants. But he wasn't active much. Preseason, he was. You saw those skills. You saw the athleticism. You saw the power. You saw the potential in him. The thing, though, is that you have to gain Dan Quinn's trust in his defense. Whether you're at the second level, whether you're at the third level. So being an undrafted guy, being a young guy, it likely would take some time for him to get real snaps. But Jaron Kearse is on a 1-year deal. Malik Hooker is on a 1-year deal. If Marquise Bell can do what Israel Mukuamu did preseason, he has an amazing preseason. He has an amazing camp. And when he gets opportunities, if they come to him, because we've seen 2 years now, there's been injuries at the position. And it's a position that is a physical one. We got physical players there. Kearse, the kamikaze D hitman, Donovan Wilson. These guys play recklessly with their bodies, so they tend to get hurt a little bit. So if he can take advantage of whatever opportunities he's given, there's a chance that the Cowboys can effortlessly transition the safety position. If Izzy continues his arrow up, you could argue I'm good at free. If Bell can show something, you could argue with Donovan Wilson having another year, I'm good at that third position. So you could just kind of transition right into 2 young guys in Bell and Izzy with the veteran guy, Donovan Wilson, if they don't elect to sign Hooker and Kearse, which I was proven wrong this year about paying money at the safety position. So maybe they'll prove me wrong again. But that would be unprecedented if the Cowboys are paying 2 to 3 safeties above average money, above average market money. And I don't think they want to. I think they want Marquise Bell to be able to take over that role. I think they want Israel Mukuamu to take over that role. But very much like Devin Harper is probably going to have to come to special teams. He played 80 special team snaps, didn't play a ton of games. It's really not a lot, but that's where he's got to make his mark. This is how I know, though, they like this kid. Getting to the playoffs, and he's active in both games, not because dudes are injured, because they like what they see. So I think Marquise Bell has an opportunity, not necessarily to be a starter this year, not necessarily to even get a lot of tick, but to gain the coaching staff's trust in case somebody goes down. He's now this year's Israel Mukuamu. So let's get a wait and see for Marquise Bell, but I like what's there, man. We liked him coming out, 6'3", 205. He's long, he's athletic, he's instinctual. He can play around the line of scrimmage. I'm excited to see what year 2 can be for this kid. And honestly, he's part of the reason why you won't find me talking about safety in this class. Not one. I don't even think I'm going to do a safety on a clock series, because for what? For who? For what? Bell, Kearse, Mukuamu, Hitman, Malik Hooker. Not to mention Wanye Thomas. Is it Thomas? Wanye Thomas is still on the team. I think this staff likes what they have at safety. I don't think they're going to draft one. I don't. Marquise Bell, how we feeling about him? Iceberg Slim, Marquise Bell will be playing this season. He says, watch. Is that like because somebody got hurt, or are you guaranteeing somebody getting hurt, or what do we? What does that mean? That worries me a bit, because if Marquise Bell is playing a lot, or you just say playing, I guess playing. I mean, played 22 snaps last year. What do you mean by playing? What do you mean by that? Marquise Bell is a kind of find that is golden during the undrafted free agent sweepstakes, says Costa Collin. Dude came out of Florida A&M and looks like a pretty solid prospect for sure. For sure. Dallas Sports 77. I don't trust LVE at all. FAMU Rattlers great Marquise Bell is a great fit here. Give him a chance. Dan Quinn, the mighty Quinn. Superstar at FAMU. I saw him in live action in games. Yeah, man. He's got high upside. 100% high upside. Yeah, L, you knew where I was going. What do you mean by that? Yeah, because look, if Marquise Bell is playing a lot, y'all, somebody either sucks or they got hurt. I'd rather it be because this dude just absolutely won bonkers. And that's a wait. I gotta wait to see that now. I gotta wait to see him just go out there and be better than Curse or better than Dono or better than Hooker. I would love it though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let's get DJ on the horn. What's good, my brother?
Good morning, Scott. How are you doing this morning, sir?
I'm doing great on this fine hump day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, so this whole, more athletic Ronald Leary thing, like, that's a very broad spectrum of dudes, but, like, they want to set it up, like, because that's like Zach Martin. Zach Martin's more athletic Ronald Leary, road grader who is physical and is very nuanced in pass blocking, things of that nature, and can pull and do all that. Like, that's what they want us to think. Now, is Steve Avila that? Probably not. But that's why they're setting this up. And this is why we get all, it's all about the show and all that kind of stuff there, just to start off with. Now, the going defensive or offensive in the first round, going all the way back to that, that's actually why I called. I think it really comes down to who has the say. Like, Dan Quinn obviously has that pull, but Mike McCarthy has also had, flexed his muscles a little bit this offseason, and we could see that in the moves and everything that they made.
Yeah.
So I think it really comes down to who has final say, offensive or defensive, but offensive line has the argument. So if it really came down to a coin flip, I think that's what would, make or break the decision-making process there.
I agree. I think it'll have to be a player that pushes them away from their need plus their draft board. I mean by need plus draft board. Last year, right? We kind of argued we needed a guard, and they view him as a tackle. But let's just go with he was drafted here to be year one, and that was a guard, right? We're talking about Tyler Smith. So their need was guard. Their draft board said he was 16. According to them, there was nobody there enough to push them away from our need. And then the 16th best player at 24, they ran to the podium to take Tyler Smith. I think a similar thing will happen this year. If Avila is 18 of them, they're sitting at 26. You got a need, and they got a guy on the defensive side that we may like, but they have him as the 38th best player. I don't think they're going to roll with that. I think they're going to take Avila because it's a need plus where they rank on their draft board. And I know you're not supposed to do that in regards to need, but best player available at position of need is where I'm at with it. And it is guard, but I don't know where they have these guys positioned at.
So Scott, now that you mentioned it, this is kind of a side note, but because you were talking and you said that he's their 18th guy and he falls to 26.
Which
like, let's say he gets taken. Do they pull the trigger on Osiris Torrance? Depending on how they have it ranked, obviously. But is it automatically, Avila's gone, we're going to go with Torrance now?
I have no idea how they feel about him, right? Like, I do want to kind of see if I can get some. Maybe I got to listen to the Star podcast with Bobby and them. They sometimes drop nuggets. I don't know how they feel about him. We heard the whispers about Avila a while ago, but I don't know how they feel about Osiris. And at first, I would have said maybe they're off put by Osiris because he's not athletic enough. And then we hear that they are interested in Mafi. So if they're interested in Mafi, maybe they're interested in Osiris Torrance. But it feels like they kind of want to go more athlete there. And if you're not athlete, then you better be a goddamn monster like Mafi in regards to a road grader. I don't think there's an in between.
Yeah, because that's a terrifying thought to me, just in general. Because I don't know you specifically, but I know Vach hates the idea, and I'm kind of there too. Because I keep watching Torrance just to kind of see if I see something that everybody else is talking about him being this high, and outside of traits, there's really nothing. And he does appear to be lazy. He takes plays off, things like that.
That's where look, if they were to take him again, I understand, right? Because they need a guard. So I would understand that. I would just hope that Solari and Coach Mike McCarthy and somebody can kind of motivate him. Because that's what it looks like to me on film, is that he just get bored out there. And I don't want that. You can't take plays off going against Deron Payne. You can't take plays off going against Fletcher Cox. You can't take plays off. You know what I'm saying? You can't take no plays off. And I just feel like he's just kind of going through the motions out there. But when he's on, you do see the strength. You do see the physical, the mean streak, the road grader. But how much does that stay on? That's why I have him as a day 2 guy, like a second round guy. So that's kind of where I'm at with him.
Fair enough. Well, and the last thing I'll let you go. Hey, I love Danny. I love him to death because like he'll hate like the top guys, but then he'll talk about Roger Neal from South Harmon Institute of Technology, and he's a road grader and all that. Like, bro, he loves his day. I love it to death. Man.
Daddy be like, man, Kavila. Let's talk about my man from ITT Tech. I saw him push that accountant around, but like, Danny, but he's round 7. What about him?
But no, he'll admit that though, right? He'll be like, he's a road grader and he's just absolutely mauling kids. Now he's a day 3 guy, but he's an absolute mauler. Like I love Danny so much. It makes my morning or afternoon every time I hear him.
That's fair. That's weird. He stands on it. I appreciate him.
Yeah, for sure. But I'll let you get back to it, but I know we're getting into time.
Yes, sir. Good luck, DJ. I'll talk to you later. Probably on Vach's show.
Yes, sir.
Salute. Yeah, I would like to know how they feel about Torrance. How do y'all feel about Torrance? Now, again, there's some biases that happens. When you watch shows or you watch, content, we tend to like who we like, I do like what I see from Mafi. I see somebody in here. What's the difference between Mafi and Torrance? So I don't feel like Mafi turns it off. Like there's times you want him to say, yo, relax. You actually got to settle down. He's not as refined from the position because he hasn't played it so much. So you kind of see him play fast. But I would rather have a guy that I can say, hey, I need you to slow it down as opposed to speeding it up. Because to me, Vashi loves to use the word lazy. And I don't know if I want to use that. But to me, it does kind of feel like, well, how into it are you? Play to play. I don't have to question it when it comes to Mafi. Like Mafi is just, he's crazy. He's a crazed man out there. He's a defensive tackle that's playing offensive guard and is learning the position. I think Osiris Torrance is clearly more refined at the position, right? Which is why he's a guy that's looked at as a day 1 or 2 dude as opposed to a day 3, because he's played the position. He understands the position. And sometimes you kind of see him out there going through the motions because this is what he does. I just think Mafi, he turns that mean streak and that road grader mentality on more often than Osiris does. But I think Osiris does have the strength. I think he has the traits. I don't know if he has the want to. And y'all know how I feel about how much and I'm not a scout. I haven't talked to the player. I don't know. How much do you want to be great, man? How much do you want to be great? Didn't we kind of have a lazy player before, man? He was super talented, though. Very, very talented. But there was some laziness to him in regards to the off season, not necessarily play to play. But and we'll leave it at that. I'm not going to drop no names. Is that fair? Brian says, I want Mafi at look. I'm Mafi or Osiris Torrance, I'm with you. I would take Mafi later as opposed to Torrance in round 1 or 2. If I can get Mafi in round 4, let's go. speaking of offensive line, this next one gonna piss a lot of y'all off, but it is what it is. I mean,
It is what it is. It is what it is.
one of these players, they have the opportunity to break through. That's just here. Josh Ball and Matt Willetsko. Look, me personally, I'm over him. He can be off the team right now. I do not care. I don't think he's that good. I think he's a good football player. But for some reason, the Cowboys, they don't like to get rid of their draft picks. Sorry, big country. They tend to hold on to these guys a little bit longer and see if it can work out a little bit. Josh Ball's going into year 3. Unfortunately, he has the opportunity to, at the very least, be the 4th offensive tackle. Well, Sky, nobody give a damn about the 4th offensive tackle. Who cares about the 4th offensive tackle? Nah, playboy or playgirl. That position matters because right now, if we use common sense, Tyron Smith should be your swing tackle. Tyron Smith does what? He gets hurt. So that leaves an opportunity for a young offensive tackle to make this team solidify the depth and possibly become the swing tackle if they don't elect to go out and get anyone. Now, my money's on Willetsko. My money's on Willetsko, but the problem with Willetsko is he got a bum shoulder. He's a hurt guy coming in, and I didn't know that until he got hurt in camp, and it was like, oh yeah, this was bothering him all last year. He had to get surgery or some weird stuff like that. So he missed a bunch of camp, played the last preseason game, played a few games in the regular season, got hurt in practice, IR. And this wasn't a your shoulders hurt IR. No. These boys needed offensive line help and depth. And Willetsko was legitimately hurt. So Josh Ball and Matt Willetsko, it'll be up to Mike Solari to figure out if they've got anything to add to this team. I don't know Mike Solari. I have a hard time believing he's watching Josh Ball's film is like, hey man, there's something there. But let me be nice.
Let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice.
Let me be nice. If there was something positive about his game, it's him run blocking. You don't really want him in space. You kind of just want him to do a lot of those duo blocks. Even in the Denver game, if y'all remember the Denver preseason game, he was atrocious as a pass blocker. There was a few combo blocks he did well. He got to the second level a little bit decent. But man, his game overall is just not good. We're going into year 3. He was their 4th round pick. He's expected to be a guy that can compete to be more than just on his team, but can compete to be on this team during game day and can be counted on if one of your tackles goes down. But right now, as we stand in April 5th, I don't believe it. I think Willetsko has more talent. I think Willetsko, if he puts on a few pounds, if he gains more, I say a few pounds, honestly, he just needs to put on some more strength. He has the athletic ability. I think he has the hands. He has the length. The tools are there for Willetsko to be a quality guy that you can count on as a swing or offensive tackle for. I think there's way more traits to like about his game than there is about Josh Ball. So, Mike Solari, got a big task on your hands, man. Got a big task on your hands. Starter Kid Duke said, there's no saving Josh Ball. Damn. Lost in translation. He needs some jelly biscuits. Well, let's go. Yeah, he's a 6 foot. What is he, y'all? 6'7"? He's just lanky guy. 6'7", got long arms. I mean, I really liked his film as a pass blocker. But in the NFL, man, you got grown men with kids and families and mortgages. they just push him right in the quarterback's lap if he don't put on some strength. Mendoza, I'm guessing you're talking about Ball. He felt he's a better run blocker and pass blocker. Yeah, that's where the positive conversation would come in with Josh Ball. He's a better run blocker. Atrocious in the pass blocking department. I did see Iceberg bring up. Let me see if I can find your conversation here, because I was going to add Simi to this list. Iceberg, if you can drop that. There you go. Sky, if the light cut out, the light cut out for Simi this training camp, that's it for Gallup. If the light, cut on. I'm sorry. If the lights cut on for Simi, that's a wrap for Gallup. What do you mean by it? Now, I don't know, because I mean, look, Simi. I thought Simi had a fantastic. Who was here last year for camp? I came on Vacha's show. I came on this show. We were down there in camp at the hotel, and I kept saying, "Hey, man, Simi Fehoko looking like wide receiver 2 to me." But it was, man, Dennis Houston made a catch. Dennis Houston is where he's supposed to be. Whoa, look at that acrobatic catch by Noah Brown. I'm just sitting here like, what the hell is this hype with Dennis Houston and Noah Brown? Okay, yeah, Noah looks quicker. Okay. But I called him Sweet Feet Simi when he got drafted. Simi looked like a different player to me. So, if Simi can take that next step, he would have to get on the field during the season. Whose spot is he taking? Like, whose snaps is he? He's not taking Cooks. He's not taking Lamb. They just paid Michael Gallup a bunch of money. I don't really see him taking Michael Gallup. They didn't give him opportunity when Dennis Houston was getting opportunities early in the season, and Jalen Tolbert. They draft a receiver, and I'm the one that's saying, look out for Simi. I'm with you, Slim. If the lights cut on for Simi, look out for Simi to piss somebody off. I said it earlier. And what I mean by piss somebody off, he might piss Jalen Tolbert off. He might piss Turpin off. He might piss whoever the guy they drafted off. He might piss Prince off, the coach. Maybe he wasn't counting on Simi to be a part of anything, and now they got to make a difficult decision on one of their guys. I don't know if it's going to be Gallup, though, because they paid money. And if we know anything about the Cowboys, when it come to money, politics as usual. Politics comes into play. But Sweet Feet Simi, yeah, I think he can piss somebody off and has the opportunity to at least be wide receiver 5, depending if they draft a guy. But the reason why I left off the Tolberts and the Simis of the world is because of kind of the ceiling they got to go through. I think it was lowered because of adding Cooks, getting another year of Michael Gallup off ACL. CeeDee Lamb is back, and they are still in the hunt for wide receiver in the draft. So if they draft a guy in the top 3 rounds, the Tolberts and the Simis of the world get knocked down tremendously, in my opinion. You can say that about all these other positions as well, but it's kind of how I see it. I don't think Tolbert's 6'3", though. I think wasn't that, and I was mistaken. I thought Simi was 6'4". But I think Tolbert and Simi are both, if I'm not mistaken, 6'2". DP. Nonetheless, they fit the mold of we talked about this yesterday. They fit the mold of the Eric Coryell, Ernie Zampese style of guys they like to draft. But they also fit Mike McCarthy's. He likes to draft guys 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". He likes those guys. Woo, Slim. All right, look, bro. I like Simi Fehoko, but my guy. Iceberg be coming with these takes, bro. So Iceberg Slim, not to be mistaken for Q, says Simi Fehoko is the most talented wide receiver on the roster. Charlie Murphy, save me, brother. Want to be nice
bro,
here.
just ignore whatever you just saw, bro. Just ignore that shit. Act like we didn't see this, bro.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still here. The mic is fine. I just wanted to gather my thoughts because I didn't want to say anything crazy. I honestly am speechless.
I know,
That's
bro.
all. That's all.
I know how you can get on people.
You know
bro.
how I can get, and I like Iceberg Slim, but
Hell yeah, bro. All right,
the hell are we talking about? Go ahead, Charlie.
Bro.
Go ahead.
All right, bet. So here's my thoughts with everything because I've been listening to all the callers and I've been listening to you talk. I like Marquise Bell. I think he's gonna be fine. But is Israel Makwamu more of a corner? Because I look at him as a corner. I think we tried him at safety, and I don't want to say it went bad, but I feel like, obviously Izzy all of a sudden became willing to tackle and good at tackling.
Yo,
you talk about a light being turned on, and that was Izzy.
Yeah.
And
he's been going around the rounds too. But his mentality from kind of cornerback to safety mentality in the NFL from year 1 to year 2 was so drastic, man. Do I view him as corner? I mean, he showed he can do some big slot things. The problem is he got the matchup for that in the playoffs, right? Like he got the matchup with Goodwin and Jennings where you can play Izzy in big slot. But normally you're going to get slots that look like Brandon Cooks. And I don't know if I don't know if Izzy has the hips to really move with those guys. That's why Jay Lou is still here, y'all. Because Jay Lou, he can move with those dudes from a quickness standpoint. And then obviously DeRon Bland is phenomenal in there as well. But I think I would just keep using him as kind of a chess piece. Oh, there we go, Mike Rizzo, chess piece. Like I would use him as a chess piece.
Yeah, he's kind of like that Dono Curse hybrid of, let me put you on the tight end. Let me put you over here, and you're gonna help out with this run real quick. But if they come over here, you can make the play on the ball. Like Izzy's the definition of a light turned on. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know much about Marquise Bell. But was he an undrafted free agent signing out of the draft?
Yes, sir. Cowboys signed him, and honestly, I thought he was going to be drafted. If you listen to a lot of people that liked him coming out, but yep, undrafted free agent out of FAMU, and made a name for himself in preseason. I thought he played well.
Yeah, he did. Wilson made a name for himself too. Like a few years ago with the Texans preseason game, he had a few interceptions. Wilson was kind of taking the same route in a sense, and it took him a few years to get to this Donovan Wilson. Wow. So maybe that's the route, Izzy, and now we got Dono locked up, and now we're going to transition Marquise Bell into it to where, like you said, it could be a smooth transition from Curtis and Hooker to those two matching up with Dono. So, no, bro, that's awesome analysis of that. With Osiris Torrance, man, I'm with Botch on it. I really, really just don't like Osiris Torrance, or
Botch done pissed all y'all off about Osiris Torrance.
Bro, I get on the Botch, and like I love when you and Botch do shows for like an hour and 45 minutes or whatever, and I'm just sitting there chilling, listening to it, because it's like y'all keep it super, super real, and I hear these like, oh, Osiris Torrance's playing weight was way above, and now he's lost 16 pounds, and he's looking better. I'm like, he needs to lose another 16. He needed to lose 30. He needs another 16. It's like, I don't want another layout Collins situation rolling into camp, fucking bad as hell and can't move, and now he gets this shit beat by Terrence Steele. Like, give me someone like Avila or Mafi that's ready to roll in there and fucking has a high-ass motor. I don't even got to worry about it.
Yeah.
And we ready to roll, bro.
I'm with you.
The years we took Travis Frederick and then Zach Martin back to back, and then our offensive line was looking great, and we hit on a left guard in Leary. We had a solid right tackle in Doug Free, who is now Terrence Steele. We can build this shit because we got our left tackle of the future, who I think should be a left guard, but I just want to see a fucking beast offensive line again, bro. And I think we can do that.
Yeah, look, I think they got a quality line now. But the issue is depth, right? And do you trust a guy like Tyron to stay healthy? And then you have the hole at left guard. So I don't think it's going to be difficult to plug that guy in there. So it might be more about, from a upside and mental standpoint than it is about overall talent. And I know that sounds crazy, but I mean, it's Osiris, which a lot of people is believed to be the overall best, guard or what have you. But I don't know mentally if it's all there. So I'd rather a guy that's going to come in here and go 110 miles an hour and bust his ass every single play that I can refine and mold, because I don't need you to be all pro right now. I need you to do something specific as we develop, because you got boys around you. You got dudes, man. You got dudes around you. I just need you to come in here and play a specific role as you continue to develop.
100%. And kick Josh Ball's ass off the fucking team.
Can't believe they cut Big Country for him, man. Team. Hey, Charlie, appreciate you calling in, big dog.
Hell yeah, love you, man.
Salute. Look, let's take a quick break because we're still recovering from my guy, Iceberg Slim. I see y'all in here just absolutely going off on him. Let's be nice. Let's be nice.
Let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
Wow. We got two more callers, and we got two premium ones too. So before we get to that, if you need an edge and you're having issues, hit up my guys at Boston Scientific. edcure.org. One of 39 million men, if that is you, that is suffering from ED. edcure.org can help you. Hit them up, take the quiz, find out the severity that you have or risk of ED. They've got customized content for you. The fastest way to find your best cure is to contact an ED specialist by browsing a list of experienced physicians in your area. So visit edcure.org to get the facts and find a urologist who can offer treatment when other options don't work. That's edcure.org, brought to you by Boston Scientific. Say it with me, y'all. It ain't hard, but you can be.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
in front of the millions
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
We'll do it live.
King Element, I read that like the little commercials. My wife's boyfriend has been coming over less and less. Thank you, Boston Scientific. Yo, man. Ooh. Hey, Iceberg Slim, that was the hot take of the week right there. But Brian says Simi and Kelvin both breaking out this season. And Iceberg said, hey, look, I want that same energy y'all coming with when he's busting our corners, when he's beating our corners, because I know y'all be, when he's torching our corners this summer. I want that same energy. Hey, man, I think Simi going to do well this summer. I do. Again, this is not me. Your statement was wow, but I am pro Simi Fehoko. He's not more talented than Brandon Cooks. He's not more talented than CD Lamb. But yeah, I'm pro Simi. I'm pro Simi, 100%. All right, let's get back to the horns, man, and get our guy Reek. What's good, man?
Yo, what's going on, Sky? What's going on, Cowboy Nation? I just kind of came in on this kind of late.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We were talking about your boy Avila earlier. Was you here for that?
Who?
Avila, the guard.
Oh, you talking about the guard?
Yeah,
My thing about that is, if he's there in the second round, cause my whole thing is this, man. This is my whole thing about it. If whoever, the way we built our team, built the foundation of this team, we haven't done that in years. Bringing back key pieces and putting this thing back together. After a decent season last year, we put ourselves in the position to get best player available. If that's a tackle, if that's a guard in the first round, if that's a defensive player, another offensive weapon. Because my whole thing is, Scott, I want to get strong at least in one or two areas of this team, like really strong. We can either do that with offensive line or wide receiver group. You know what I mean? Or add a dynamic running back to this. We got a whole bunch of options, man.
We do.
You know, it's unbelievable, you know. And I don't want them to stop with free agency either to try to sign somebody else later, because I think we, like, far as this defensive line, I want an older defensive line. I want an older defensive tackle that's been in the league already. That's, you know, like they say, got a couple skins on the wall, a few skins on the wall.
You got
that's the type
a
of
mortgage to pay. You know, you're on the brink of bankruptcy or something, so he out there playing for something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want that type of dude. You know, but far as I want a grown man in the middle, because we lost Watkins. I want a grown man in the middle. To go with the guys that we already have on this team. I don't mind getting another edge if that's the best player available at that pick, because we can go best player available at 26, unless it's just a dude on the offensive line that we just can't pass up. But other than that, hey man, we put ourselves in a good position. But as far as Simi Fehoko, I think people like Simi Fehoko is going to get a shot, because Mike McCarthy said it. A year or two ago, he might use him as a hybrid tight end, and if he can, if he works out at that spot,
that was strange. Because
Kellen Moore.
I mean,
Kellen,
I don't think that's Kellen though, because Kellen don't run the tight end room, all right, or the wide receiver room. So that was weird, because McCarthy didn't come out and say that. Simi did. And I wonder if it was one of those things where McCarthy might have just said it in passing, and then once Camp got here, there's like, nah, we're good. We got Hendershot, we got Ferguson, we got McEwen, we got Schultz. It'd be stupid to move him. So that was weird, because Simi came on 105 to the fan and was like, yeah, you know, I might bulk up and do some tight end things, and then he never did that. So that was strange.
I look at it like this, man. I think they saved him for a reason. They saved him around here for a reason, to do something with him. And I think Mike McCarthy's going to figure it out. But guys like him, guys like
Tolbert,
Tolbert, and if Turpin stays on the team, guys like Turpin, he's going to find little tricky ways to do some things. Because I really believe we got some pieces on this team. They just was not used correctly and wasn't used enough last year. And I think they have to make this offense easier for Dak to, you know, easy throws, better running lanes, to make Dak cook. Cause to me, I think Dak Prescott is one of the best play action quarterbacks in this league, man. When he got to run it, when his running backs is running and players are wide open, like if he can get players wide open on the move, on the run, he's pretty damn good. And I think our offense is unstoppable when we're doing stuff like that. It's just, to me, I don't want Dak holding the ball that long. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want him holding the ball. So I kind of like the fact that we're going to be more down here running at people and doing slants and things like that. I can dig that. You know what I mean? So whatever. I'm just ready for this draft. I'm hyped up for the draft, and let's do what we got to do, man. And people like Bell, he's all right too, you know. And I'm glad we got young guys in the wing waiting. Yeah, I'm just glad. I'm just glad we got guys in the wing waiting to get their shot, man. Yeah. And when they get their shot, hopefully they shine. So that's all I got to say this morning, man. I'm up out of here.
My guy, peace. Appreciate you, Reek. Reek hit about 17 different things right there, but the one I want to touch on was the offense. I just want the offense to have a purpose. I want the offense to. I love what McCarthy said last week. You know, the secret sauce is to put less responsibility on all the players because they play faster. direct shot at Kellen Moore because that his offense was more asking his skill players to adapt post snap. Now, obviously, with some of those guys, you can do that with, right? Some of the veteran dudes, some of the high end guys, and you got a veteran quarterback that, in my opinion, masked a lot of things for Kellen. But this offense isn't going to ask the receivers to adapt every single damn play, it feels like, after the snap, right? It's going to be, this is what you're going to do. This is your read, Dak. If that's not there, dump it off. If that's not there, you got the backside slant. If that safety shades over top to take away the post, well, you're going to have, I don't know, Michael Gallup coming on a dig. Like, these aren't difficult reads. And I'm not saying you got to be a rocket scientist. But there were things asked of these wide receivers that I don't think you had the wide receivers to be asking them to do it. And then if they're not on the same page, Q and wide receiver, you'll get interceptions. Then you start getting the Q wanting to force things. And Dak, we don't need you to force it. We just need you. It just got too weird, man. So the simplification of the offense, taking less responsibility away from everyone, I think is going to make this offense have a rhyme and reason. I think it will be more efficient. Even though, yeah, we score a lot of points, but I know what Mike McCarthy means by efficient. I get what he's saying. And for the play action thing, look, man, as long as they are running play action, it'll work. I'm 10 toes on that. I don't give a damn if they average 2 yards per carry. If you're running play action, any run action, it doesn't just have to be simple. Put the ball in 21 or 20. He's no longer here. Stomach and pulling it and throwing it. No. If you're showing run action, if you're getting a pull, if you're getting any type of look that looks like a run for the second level to have to bite on, that's going to work. That has worked historically for everyone, even teams that don't. Look at Minnesota. Minnesota is a team last year who didn't run as much as they used to, but the play action still worked for Kirk Cousins. Guys were still getting open. So, just use play action, man. You got one of the best play action quarterbacks. I think you got fantastic play action weapons. We're talking about the tight ends. They both can do things after the catch. You got guys like CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks who can do some yak things. So I'm excited for the unknown of the offense. I can't say that I'm excited for the offense just quite yet because we don't know what it's going to be. But the unknown of it has me on my on pins and needles, just ready to see what we got here, man. Uh-oh, what happened, man? Let me lock this up. We got, all right, let's do this. We're going to go Marv to Tony from Tampa. Hit up any supers I might have missed and roll out. Good time of the day. Good morning, Magic City.
What up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Good show today.
Yeah, that's good. When I was with Simi, I was at the camp in L.A., California.
Yes, indeed, you were, yeah.
And Simi was the best receiver in the camp to all the fans. He was burning. He was doing good with Dak and what's the backup quarterback?
Cooper
Rush. Yeah, he was the one getting he was getting 30-yard catches, 40-yard catches. He was doing good on the slants. He was catching in the back of the end zones.
Oh, he was mossing.
He was turning it up.
Yeah, he was mossing dudes. Yeah, he was mossing dudes. He was clutch too. They did a couple of the mojo moments, and Simi was like on the back end of those mojo moments, man.
Yeah, Simi turned it out.
Yeah,
and a few other receivers turned it out too. Brandon Smith, Tober did good in the camp. I don't know what happened when they got to the regular season.
I looked at it differently though for Tobin in camp. He seemed to fizzle, and obviously he's a rookie, so he's rookies are going to have some moments, but I think he lost a little bit of his confidence throughout camp, and I think that's why you saw him kind of not get a lot of tick early.
Yeah, and with the Cowboys, if y'all haven't seen the trend, okay, this is the trend. Everybody got to watch this. Now, what they would do, Cowboy, is like you still. You're the Cowboys. Okay, give you $10 million that you might have never get in your life again. So he'll give you $10 million to show him. If you show him, and he comes to negotiate with you, and you say no, and you try to be greedy, and to him it's like you punching him in his mouth, like he's stupid. And he'll go to his daddy and say, "Well, Daddy, we got these other people we about to draft. Let's go on and let them go." He'll give you your bonus money that you never will get. So in a way, guys, you can't be mad. And what I'm trying to get to is number 13. He gave contract to 13. That's their boy. That's their boy now. Because they draft him. And now with 13 will negotiate and bring the cap down. He ain't gonna do like everybody else because he like the Cowboys. So he's the one guy that's loyalty, and they'll stay loyal to him for about a year or two, and then they'll let him go if he don't do like he's supposed to.
I agree with Pollard. I agree with the latter right
Pollard
there.
do the same thing. Yeah, they're doing Pollard the same way. Now Pollard try to do like Zeke or try to do like Dalton Schultz. It's gonna be a halfback to be like Pollard every year. We can't. Everybody on here, you can't get attracted to them people. If they get them go, you gotta let them go.
Yeah, running back.
You know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen still. There's gonna be another back that turn it out in camp or in preseason and running for long touchdown, and then everybody, well, we can let Pollard go. You know that. You know that's gonna happen. So it's gonna be up to Pollard if you want to negotiate in good terms with Cowboy. Cowboy is not gonna have loyalty to you. If he have loyalty to you, if he give you a bonus, that's what he did at Dalton Schultz. They gave Dalton Schultz that money, and he did it on good terms. And Dalton Schultz put a finger to him like he was the Michael Jordan of tight ends. And you know, Will man say, we got Ferguson, we got this guy, man, we don't need him. Let him go.
Yeah.
They get in that meet, and that's his boy. Will is his boy now. If y'all sitting over here thinking Cowboy making all the moves, he go to his boy Will, and Will say, "Yo, man, what you think? What you want to do, Will?" Will say, "Well, man, you know I pick up better tight ends anyway. Let him go."
Yeah.
So if y'all got a favorite player on here, and y'all think the Cowboys better keep him, the Cowboys gonna get rid of him. If they don't negotiate with my boy, because I'm still, you know me, because me and you got an argument. I'm Cowboy too. If y'all don't negotiate with us on good terms, after we gave y'all a bonus money that y'all never gonna get on another team, and y'all try to stick it to us, we let your sorry ass go. We don't care.
Yes, Stephen Jones. Yeah, Stephen Jones. He brought up the running back situation. When he talked about taking a running back at 26 or whatnot, I don't think personally they're going to sign him to a long-term extension because they're going to offer him probably something super low, and TP's probably going to say nah, and they're just going to draft the guy. So I forget what else you said though because it was a lot, but that's kind of my opinion on the Tony Pollard thing, Mark. Appreciate you, big dog.
Hey, but one more still. And one more on the deep tackle. You know who I like? The best. You know I want a veteran. Like you say, but I want to get.
Keanu
I hope they draft. Yes, the one from Nebraska. Yeah, he's the best training paid nose tackle. They can pay the 3 tech and the 1 with no problem. That's that guy. Okay. So I love your show, man.
Appreciate you,
but everybody don't get attached to these players. Cowboy ain't playing. Salute.
Peace, Mark. Oh, you gotta love Mark, man. Mark be like, look, man, don't you be getting attached to these players. But that damn 7th round pick from ITT Tech, he gonna be a superstar, goddamn it. I'm telling you, man. 15,000 yards coming up. What's his name? Number 00 from ITT Tech State. Now you right, Marv. Gotta love Marv. Before I get to Tony from Tampa, I saw Will Burney drop something about if the Cowboys got Derrick Henry be 15-2. I'm like, it's like the 5th time I saw somebody drop Derrick Henry and Cowboys. Like, what's going on? So I Googled while Marv is telling his stories. And apparently somebody at ESPN, Bill Barnwell, who's respected, by the way, numbers guy. I guess he said the Cowboys should sign Derrick Henry or trade for what is happening? What are we talking about here? So I can't click into the story because it's ESPN Insider, and I'm not paying for that. Let me try to be respectful, but this is why I don't go to these places for my information for Dallas Cowboys talk, because that makes absolutely no sense. They're not doing that. Bill Barnwell, who are you talking to? Anyway, before I get all up in arms, I just, that makes no sense. Yeah. Leave it at that. Tony from Tampa. What's good, T?
What's good, Scott?
Hey man, I'm good. You kind of fading out a little bit there. Can you take me off speaker?
Hold on. I'm gonna try to take you off the truck. You in my truck, man.
Got you. I mean, I can hear you, but I don't know if the viewers will be able to hear you good enough.
Yeah, I got to keep you playing in the morning, babe.
I got you, fam. What's up with you?
Hey, man. Yeah, man. That don't make no sense at all, man. But I like Steve Avila, right?
Steve Avila, yep, that's the guard out of TCU, yeah.
Yeah, man, because you got to think, man, all the Cowboy fans, man, they, we be up in arms, but for real, man, we was only a game away, really, from being what we want to be against some familiar opponent. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't that far from there, man. A couple pieces, man, we in there, man. We don't need to be, everybody sweating and going crazy, man.
They here's the thing. If you would have said this 2 months ago, I would have hit you with, but we were not far away years past and they never made any moves, understanding they weren't too far away. But this year they did. They did make those moves. They did go out there and get Brandon Cooks. They traded for, Stephon Gilmore. So I think they are in the same boat as what you're saying. That, look, we're not far and we got to stop playing around with this. So I applaud them for understanding they not far and making the moves by doing so. Because if they didn't, then we'd be in the same situation.
Yeah, I'm loving them, man. I just think we still need a big boy in the middle. We need that DT, man. That if we can get Mozzie in the second and Vila in the first, man, I'm good with the rest of the draft. I'm straight. I'm going to sleep.
I was about to say auto draft. I don't care what they do the rest of the draft. You kidding me? And I don't care which way it go. Shit, you give me a Vila and Mozzie?
Man.
Come on, man. Look.
Yeah, hey, run that ball. We get that boy because like the other caller said, man, our offensive line, man, we holding our breath on them, man. Some of them, I ain't going to say all of them, but, a couple of them we holding our breath on, man. We do need more depth there, like quality depth. I ain't talking about just a body to throw in there, but I'm talking about, some quality depth there, man, and that offensive line, and we get that running game going. I'm good. If they get one in the draft, a running back, I would like Spears, though, man. I know I ain't no owner or nothing, but I like Spears in the third. That'll be awesome, man. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm straight. I know we good. We ain't that far away because I felt like we could beat the Eagles, and I felt like we should have beat the Niners. So, you know what I'm saying? I felt like last year was set up for us to go ahead and make that push, man. But, other circumstances got in the way of that, you know what I'm saying? But we weren't that far, man. If you see, you know we not that far. So,
Only reason why I say we're not that far now is because they went out there and they made the moves to not be that far away. If they did the same shit they did last offseason, you wouldn't be hearing me saying that, man. Because
you wouldn't hear me say it either.
You can't go 12-5 and be like, we're gonna sign Ryan Nall, and that's it. Like, come on, man.
You wouldn't hear me say it either. But the Gilmore and the Cooks trade, man. The Gilmore, oh my God, man. I'm sitting back. I'm bragging. I'm sitting back. Who are you throwing to, man? I'm throwing.
Real rap.
My brother a Commanders fan. My wife is an Eagles fan. my my dad a Commanders fan, and I'm sitting in the back like talking smack to hey, it's in the family, so I gotta talk smack, So, hopefully I ain't gotta bury my head again.
I'm about to say, look, they have given us reasons to say it with your chest for the next 6 months. Now, the draft could help it a little bit more, but going out and getting Cooks and Gilmore to me, man, look, Cowboys Nation, you damn right you should be out there with your chest out talking about your boys and the potential, what they could do this year. I mean, this is different. They have not. This doesn't feel different. No, this is different because they didn't make moves like this in March. So yeah, man, there's a different feel to it, but we got to keep that momentum in the draft, and then obviously starting the season.
Yeah, it seems like they always be nailing, except for Taco. I was on the Taco train. I ain't gonna lie, but they normally nail the first pick, man. So
Hey, look, man, if it's really one place I ain't question these dudes, it's the draft. Like all I'm doing for the draft is I'm evaluating. Like, all right, cool, who they pick, I'm gonna evaluate it, and 9 times out of 10 they getting somebody out this draft. Somebody's going to hit.
How you feel about Neville, though? How you feel about Neville, though?
Hey, man, Neville on the block. Neville's on a bubble, man. He's not guaranteed to be on this roster. He going out to snap in training camp. They put him as a healthy scratch a bunch of times last year.
Yeah. I would love for Bohannon. Boy, he's so big, man. We got a big man. He's big, but,
Yeah, Bo's a depth guy. Bo's not I don't think Bo is one of them ones. Bo is and he's a depth guy. He's a depth nose tackle. Started off well, got dinged up a little bit, faded, but look, Bo's a 6th-round pick.
Yeah, the way he started. The way he started, man. I was like, oh my God. But then it's like, what happened to him?
Well, he got hurt and he missed a game or two. And then he didn't really have anybody like him to help him, if that makes sense. Like, Bo was the only real nose tackle on the team. So until Hankins got there, then Hankins can kind of supplement Bo. Bo can supplement Hankins, and they can both be 110% while they out there. But yeah, hey, look, I think Bo has a better shot to make the team than Neville. He took Neville's spot.
What's the Flacco, man? I want to hear this answer. What's the 2 positions you think that we need the most?
The 2 positions we need the most?
The most. Like, that you would target the French.
Well, trenches, left guard, defensive tackle. That's where I would go. I mean, I say that's where I would go. Obviously, your board has to fall a certain way, but those are the 2, I think, the flashing, blinking red light positions right now is left guard, defensive tackle.
Yeah,
you could argue, I guess some people might argue running back, but look, the way I feel about running back, I don't care where you take one, man. You can find talent from 1 through 7.
Yeah.
All right,
that's all I got today, man. hey, keep it up, man. You got the number. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you, man. You got the #1 show, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, man, Tony,
I got to watch it.
My guy, man. My guy. I appreciate you, big dog. Thanks, fam.
Yeah, man. All right.
Salute. Hey, Tony, they said you have to check your phone, big dog. You sound like Aquaman under there. They said the live action Little Mermaid, Scuba Man. Oh, they killing you, Tony. Scuba Steve. I heard you, but yeah, it did sound like you was underwater a little bit, bro. It's all good. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Yeah, I don't think, and I feel you, Tom. Tom said it in the chat. I've heard this I'm with you. We did hear certain things every year. I try to stay away from the buzzwords, right? But if you can just bear with me a little bit, this is a situation where it does not feel different. It is. I think that's different, right? No pun intended. I think that's different from years past. We always had to kind of talk ourselves and, oh, this feels different. Now, last year, I wasn't up here saying anything. I did not like what I saw offensively, and I didn't like what they did offensively. I didn't like what they did from a team building standpoint. Did it work out? Did they have the same record and did they win a playoff game? Yeah. I didn't think they were a Super Bowl team. Thought the ceiling was the NFC Championship game. But they've made moves to me that make this off season different. That's all I'm saying. That doesn't mean the results are going to change. All right, listen. Oh man, y'all killing Tony. Hey Tony, you gonna have to get off the Obama phone next time, man. They killing in here. Let's get some supers real quick. Appreciate y'all, man. We have 400 plus in here concurrently. Shout out to the squad, man. Shout out to y'all. What time is it? I gotta be somewhere in a second. Or not be. I gotta get this out. Yeah, let me do this real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Twan dropped one earlier. I know I missed some. The other Twan Okafor. Shout out to Twan. Met him at Texas Live.
Super chat.
He said, Sky, my draft guy this year is Tank Dell. If we get him, Mike McCarthy is going to turn him into a more elusive Randall Cobb. Also, Boss Man could learn this year from Gallimore. Oh, I'm sorry, from Gilmore. Tank Dell. Randall Cobb. Tank Dell. Randall bigger. Look, man, you get Tank Dell, Zay Flowers, and who's the other one? Josh Downs. These little squirts that you could throw in the slot. I think with Flowers, you can put him on outside a little bit more. He's more Brandon Cooks-ish, just a little bit smart, tiny bit smart. Yeah, man, you could do some fun things with those guys. Tank, he's just real small, man. He's real small, and he's not as fast as I thought he was. He's way more quick than fast. He's football fast. But look, man, you get any of those type of dudes when you got to deal with Cooks and you got to deal with Lamb and maybe Gallup gain some respect. That player is going to have crazy opportunity. And if they decide to do more Cooks and Lamb on the outside, we've always talked about how successful the slot guy is with Dak Prescott. So, hey, man, Tank Dell probably was more fun to watch from a route running standpoint than any of those dudes. And he may be the better route runner. So I think that saves him from not being as big or as stout as the other guys. But man, you're talking about sweet feet. Tank Dell got some sweet feet, man. He's a fantastic route runner for a little guy.
Super chat.
Darius Woods dropped 2 and said, do you think that Carter could beat Tyler Smith at left guard? Jalen? Talking about Jalen Carter? If you're talking about Jalen Carter, yeah. Like, I think he's one of them ones. But I don't know what you mean by, do I think Carter could beat Tyler Smith at left guard? But clarify that for me, Darius. Lemitra dropped 1. See another one. Lemitra.
Super chat.
Sky, I'm reading King Henry is in play for us. In the words of the New Day. Who's saying this? Who's saying this? Is this because of the Bill Barnwell thing? Yeah, that's your guy, DJ. That's your guy. Tank is your guy, man. I'm a Zay Flowers guy of the 3 little mighty mites. I think Zay. There was what was I watching yesterday? And they talked about, it was a great breakdown of Zay Flowers. I think one of the things was confidence. It was like, who's the most confident player in this draft class? He said Zay Flowers. And he plays that way. And I'm like, damn it. That's true. You see it on film. It's my ball. I'm coming down with that ball, whether I'm on the slot, whether I'm on the outside. And then you add the physical way he plays. I think Zay Flowers is I think he's much better than Tank Dell, but I think Tank Dell he's good. He's a good player too. But that's your guy, man. Zay Flowers is my guy. Nah, he's a brother. He's a brother, Sally. Sky, calling somebody small. Yeah. Hey, look, man. Funny thing is, them dudes is actually smaller than me. Well, shorter, I should say. Yeah, his footwork is definitely insane. 100%, Benjamin. Now, if you want to talk about what he is better than Zay, probably route running. I'll give you that. I'll give you that one. Bruce said, but Sky is Tank Dell better than Semi. Look, yeah, I'm going to let y'all fight Iceberg Slim on the Semi thing because I like Semi Fehoko, okay? I like. So, Lemitra, who was it, man, that y'all hearing this from? See, now the who thing comes from the New Day. Who? That's where that come from. Cold Jelly, aka CJ, am I getting a media pass for training camp this year? Hopefully. Like that's in the cards. It went well last year. The PR lady, Whitney, was impressed. She was, I didn't step, over the lines because you can look, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. We talking, we fan. I'm a fan at the end of the damn day, right? So being on the other side and being right next to this person and that person, and this player and that player, it took a lot of me to not be like, hey, dog, you want to take this picture real quick? Say, man, you want to sign? Like, it ain't gonna lie, man. I wasn't fanboying or anything like that. Then Dak Prescott walked by, and I'm like, man, that's Dak, But I had to play it cool, and I was like, look, if it's one player I'm gonna get a picture with right now, given this opportunity, it was goddamn Dak Prescott. So I did get a picture with Dak, but I wasn't trying to mess up money, right? I wasn't trying to drop the bag. I was trying to make a good impression. So next year we can come in here and we can do the same thing. We can get the media pass. We can talk to the coaches. We can talk to the players, and we can bring y'all that content, man. So I stuck close to Pat. I stuck close to certain other media people, gained some tips, and I think it went well enough to where once we apply again next year, this summer, we should be good to go. The actual real goal, though, A to Z wants me to get the media pass for the game or for the week. They want me to go down to the Star and things like that. That would be dope. But y'all know how tight knit the Joneses are. All right, they don't let anybody in. They do not let anybody in because people like me. I'll say certain things. I don't give a damn. I don't work for Dallas Morning News. I don't work for D2. I don't work for none of them. I'll ask the real damn question, and then next thing you know, boot it out. So, hey man, we'll see what happens. I'd rather get the training camp pass anyway, and for all of training camp, not just for a couple days. Man, good stuff. Had a good time, man. L said, me and Vach are media. I new media. Shout out to Draymond. New media. Look, if y'all enjoyed today's show, please hit the like button on the way out, man. We'll be back later. I'll be back later on the volume, Voch Lombardi Live, and then Mo will be back on A to Z Sports Prime Time. Good stuff today. I will see y'all later. Let me press this button and get the hell up out of here. Media mogul? Shit, I wish, man. Let's goes. Let's goes. Did I get the last minute super? Dang, 2 of them. DJ said, F Josh Ball, appreciate you, bro, in the super chat. And then L said, did you roll out the Hear Me Out segment yet? Have not. You know me though. I'm extra with it. So I want to get the visuals. I want to get a little video B-roll thing going. So I am going to do that Hear Me Out segment. So thanks for reminding me. With that said, we out.
Squad!